Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be something a little different. The other day while I was going through my old USB thumb drives, I found a folder that I thought I'd lost of my Sims 4 saves, and I thought I'd like deleted it, but I hadn't. So a lot of my older stuff I finally got back, and included in it was my very first build ever. Before I built this particular structure, is all I'm going to call it, I would always just download from the gallery or use a pre-made house that was already in the game. So then I tried to make my own house, and it was horrible, absolutely horrible. So we're going to take a tour of this house that I made, and I laugh at myself because I can, but I apologize if other people may build this way and they think I'm picking on them. I'm not. But when I say that my building skills have improved, they have definitely improved. So I always played on the 64 by 64 lot in Del Sol Valley because I always thought the bigger the house, the better it was. I've come to realize that that's absolutely not true, but okay, so poor Elle, she is my guinea pig in the save, always is, and I'm gonna send her on a jog while we explore. So no, Elle, go for a jog. There you go. Okay, so this was my very first build. I was really bad at roofs, and this was it, and I don't even know how I thought I was going to play with this, but back then I played with vampires, so everything had to be covered because I didn't want them to die in the sunlight. So now we're going to go in. No, up the roof. Okay. It is only one story, believe it or not. Okay, so when we went in, there was this hallway. I like the idea that I was going for, but it didn't turn out the way I thought it was. So I was going for the marble floors and the chandeliers and all that good stuff. So it's like all you have is like the umbrella stand and some tables that hadn't even decorated and the same picture on both walls. So then you walk through here, and this was the dining room. I'm just gonna walk over those chairs and turn around. So this was the dining room. I'm not sure exactly why I needed such a big dining room or anything else, but that was the dining room. And then on the other side was the kitchen, which I made massively huge for some reason. Massive. I don't even understand why I did this. I didn't have the concept of clutter yet, and I didn't even have all the packs yet at this point. Okay, so this was the kitchen dining room area. This was a hallway, and it led down to this area, and it was like a gardening area, which really doesn't look that bad. Maybe it doesn't need to be as big, but it was really kind of cute actually. And that was a door leading out, and then when you spun around and apparently went outside, there was just this long hallway, and that was the door that went out to the backyard. So then you had this long hallway. We're not even going to go all the way down because there's no need. Then over here was the living room. Now, I went through a phase where everything had to be white. Like everything. And this was it. When I opened it up the other day, I said it honestly looks like a doctor's office waiting room. That's honestly what it looks like at this point. So much space. I don't even know. And I'm just going to ignore this walking thing because it's this right here is the biggest confusion ever. This huge room for a chess table, a computer desk, the video table, and an art easel. That's it. That's all that's in there. And it's that big of a room. I went by no plan. I did all of this. What is this? This is 3 single glass doors. Okay. We're gonna pretend I didn't see that. So then this was the bedroom. Again, massively huge. Massively. And I mean, I could fit like, this is like the size of a beginner 100 baby challenge house or something. I mean, a mirror, a bed, night tables, and a dresser. It's all that's in here. I mean, I could build like 3 houses by the time this one. This was the bathroom. And I went through a phase where I loved doing the bathroom vanities like this. And I still think it's kind of cool, but I don't think it needs to be that big. And yeah, that was that. And just a shower and a tub over here. Did I even put a toilet in here? Okay, there's not even a toilet in this house. I mean, but she was a vampire, so I mean, I guess she really didn't need it. And then through this door was her coffin, which is where she slept. And I think there was only one other room that I did, and it was this one, which was the half bath. So there was a toilet in the house in case anybody needed one. But I think I marked this down as a 3-bedroom, and I probably could have gotten 6 bedrooms out of this. 6. Yeah, that was the half bath. That right there. That's normally the size of my regular bathrooms now. So then I had all of this space that I did nothing with yet. Okay, so then you go outside, and then off the bedroom was a porch right here. And that's how it looked. That right there. Had some tables, a couple of love seats, and an art easel. That was it. But I guess I did that because she was a vampire. She wanted to come outside and draw. She wouldn't be directly in the sun. So I guess that's why I did that. And then you had, from that long hallway I showed you, that the door came out, it came out to this. And this right here is probably the best part of this entire build at this point. Just this. And it went out to the pool because the vampires had to be inside, so if they wanted to swim, you had to have a pool. I was obsessed with the saucer lights, and yeah, this was my very first build, and it's horrendous. Apparently I like squares and rectangles a lot, and so I'm glad that I can look back at this and go, wow, I mean, that's how I started. It's not that bad as a starting point, I guess. But I look at it now and I'm like, but I've come so far from this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into build and buy. Well, I'm going to build mode. Everything in this house I'm going to put in L's inventory. And I'm going to try to use as much of the original items as I can. And then I'm going to take this house and remodel it. Might make it smaller, decrease the size, and everything, and that will be the speed build part of this video. And I will try to improve this house, and like I said it was a 3-bedroom 2-bath, so that is what I'm going to make it. I'm not going to actually tear this structure down completely and start over. I'm going to take this structure and kind of work on it, reconfigure rooms and things like that, but it's going to be the original shell of the house, just shortened up a lot. So there'll be a lot more room for other things. I will probably keep the pool, whether it's indoor or outside, I don't know yet, but, and maybe even just keep the fences as they are. So when you come back, I will be doing the speed, when I come back, I will be doing the speed build portion of this video, and we will fix my very first house that I had the audacity to call my fave. So yeah, you got to start somewhere. The first thing that's going to go is this roof. This is, I complain about not knowing how to do roofs now. This is, wow. Anyway, so I will be back after I put everything in her household inventory, and we will be rebuilding this structure. When I came down to the basement to take the lights out the pool, I found this. I literally made a basement the size of a 64 by 64 lot, and I even have lights in it, so I'm not even sure what I thought I was going to do with this, considering the upstairs was plenty big enough that I definitely did not need another whole space this big. This, I have no idea what I had in mind for this house, but it's kind of scary. Okay, so I've taken everything out of the house, and now I'm going to shorten it up, because honestly this was too big of a house. I don't even know why I thought this was a good idea, but we're going to fix it and we're going to make it look nice. So my plans for this house is to keep it a 3-bedroom and at least 2-bathroom. I did cut quite a bit out of this part because, for example, I made a half bath that I'll later delete it, so there's no reason to show you that when I was just going to delete it later anyway. So in some shots you'll still see a bathroom sitting there, but it got deleted, so it won't be in the finished house. And I even ended up moving this house to a very different lot because 64 by 64 was just too big for it then after I finished. So I moved it to a 50 by 50, which I know is only a 1 step down, but it fit the house a little bit better. I did try to use as much stuff as I could from the original build, but I've gotten more well, I've owned all the packs now, but I didn't have them all when I initially built this house, so some things I just have favorites, and they were in packs I didn't have at the time. But otherwise I tried to continue to keep the same items that were already in the home. The space of probably the kitchen and half of the dining room in the original house, I managed to put a kitchen, dining room, and laundry room, as well as a little back door area, which really isn't that major, which you'll see in a little while. And I scrapped the whole vampire idea, so I got rid of the coffin, and it won't be centered around a vampire type household. I will be probably making this a two-part video. This first part, I already know how much I got done in this first part, but the main problem was that the tour of the original house was actually 12 minutes out of this whole video. So the remaining part of this video is me doing about 3 rooms and mapping out the rest of the house. And of course doing the roof. So the second part will probably be uploaded sometime next week, either Tuesday or Thursday. And depending on how fast I can get the rest of it edited and the voiceover done for it. So we will see next week how the actual complete inside looks. Like I said, I pretty much did 3 rooms. I will come back and do some minor decorating in those rooms later on. And I still kept the whole, maybe a single sim or a couple will live in this house. I didn't really make like child-centered bedrooms or a child-centered house at all, because I tried to stay as true as I could to what I was originally doing. And of course, if you really want to know why I played with vampires, it's because I had no idea about the potion of youth. None whatsoever. I also didn't know you could just go into cast and just keep aging them down to young adult and keeping them young adults forever. So I played with vampires so that my Sims would never die. I've learned a lot since then, so I don't really play with vampires much, and if I do, it's because it's a vampire-centric story. So I scrapped the whole vampire thing, but otherwise I pretty much kept it to the way that I was making it. I mean, I know I had 1 sim living in that house, and so I continued to keep it that way. I also decided to change up the colors of the living room from that like plain hospital doctor waiting room white to this blue, and I ended up really liking it once it finished, once I got everything in the room. Of course, you'll see me do things here and then completely change what I'm doing, but it was just all part of the process. These little tables from Tiny Living, the blue in them matches these sofas perfectly, and I used a lot of Tiny Living stuff in this living room. I threw in some yellow and white as contrasting colors to kind of offset all the blue. But this living room, and it's going to be a little bit more than just a living room, it's going to have a bar area as well as a desk area. So this turned out to be one of my favorite rooms that I finished in this house. And a couple of other ones won't be until the second part. But yeah, I really liked this room. And the browns, matching all the browns together, the blues and stuff like that. See, I was splitting it off. There ended up being a half bath over there. Then it got deleted and the house got shortened even more. So just ignore anything you might ever see over there in that little corner. But yeah, I used the sunflowers as the yellow contrasting, just like in 2 different little areas. And then the main contrasting color was white. And it ended up being a really nice living room. One of my favorites that I've done. And I kept like the archway idea I had going into the living room and the dining rooms. I kept that. And I will also put a chandelier in the hallway. I can't remember this video. It's this video. I put a chandelier in the hallway, but I didn't have that chandelier when I initially made this house. So, well, there you saw me pull out the debug room where this particular one was from Sim Lissy, where she has a room on the gallery that has certain debug items in it, and it's so much easier than searching for them. And I like to put little remotes on the table because, I mean, honestly, who walks around with a TV remote in your pocket all the time? So, and apparently their remotes also work every TV because they're always pulling them out no matter where they are. I also got rid of several of the hutches I had in the dining room. Just having, I think I had 5. I sold 3 and kept these 2. But having 5 in there was ridiculous. Also, feel free to leave me any questions below for another Q&A video. I kind of had fun doing the last one, even though some of those questions where I thought I knew the answer, when I went to answer it, I really did not have an answer at all. I had to really think about it. But it was kind of fun. I'm pretty much an open book. There are some things I will not discuss, such as my children's names. You probably will not hear me say their names, but I will, like, maybe say their age or something like that. I don't think I've really ever shared with the community, you know, how many children I have or anything like that. It's just always been like my daughter, and you kind of wonder if it's the same daughter or not. But anyway, I don't think I'll do a Q&A in the next part of this, but maybe in another speed build video. But yeah, feel free to leave me questions below. I will keep them stored in my notes so that I can answer them when I do have a Q&A. But I do have another house like this. It's my second ever build that is almost as horrendous as the first. Actually, I'm not sure. They're about equal, to be honest with you. When I found both of those, I just had a major laugh fest because they were just both like, okay, throw some boxes together and live in them. But I will probably doing that one at a later time. That one is actually bigger, believe it or not, than this one was. And it's actually on the same lot, so it's actually bigger than this house was. And I have a particular plan for that one, so I have to wait until I can really focus on that plan for it. But that one will be coming up eventually soon too. I have the second part of Simmer Down Misha's 2 packs, 2 builds, 1 lot challenge. That will probably come up next week, maybe, or the week after. And I also have a pixel art house that I made, but I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to decorate it on the inside. So the floor plan's going to be really awkward. So I really have to sit down and think about how I want that done, and that one should be coming up within the next couple of weeks. And of course, whatever 3 Let's Plays I have for each week. I think this coming week will be 100 Baby Challenge, Rags to Riches, and Eco Lifestyle. So yeah, you see the little half bath over there to the left? It disappears later. I didn't even waste your time to look at it. I've never really used those little bead curtain things, and since the other house had 2.5 baths, I was going to try to keep 2.5 baths in this one, hence why there's a half bath on the other side. But it didn't work out that way, and the 2 baths were more than enough, and so I made this laundry room instead. And I did not have laundry day when I made the original house, so I added a laundry room, took away a half bath, so it equaled out. But as I was saying, those little bead curtain type things, I think they came with City Living. I've never ever used those in a build before, so they actually look really nice. The little bar area gave it a little flash. So let me know in the comments below if you wish you could go back and redo your first build with everything you've learned since then. Like I said, I lucked out that I found mine. This was never anything I put on the gallery. It took me a long time to feel secure enough to put anything on the gallery. So of course this one never got up there, and it was by luck that I found it, and I was like, it'd be really cool to go back and remodel it to what I know now from what I did then. And it was kind of a cool experience to be like, why did I have rooms this big? Why did I think I needed to have half a house for just the living room? I mean, it already takes the Sims forever to walk somewhere. Why did I need to give them a massively huge living room to walk through? And but yeah, let me know if you would like to have the chance to go back and redo your first build with your current knowledge. Okay, so I'm pretty much finishing up in the inside, and then I will be going to the outside and doing the roof and the siding on the house. I think the original house was a white siding, however I kept it like I think I went with a tan color instead of white. And you'll see me do the roof, which I put some dormers in. I did have to go back and fix them because they were a little too big on the inside. So I went back and fixed them before I upload this to the, well, I won't even upload this to the gallery till the next video comes out. So that part will be fixed. And I think that's really all that I did to this house. I mean, the main thing was just shrinking it down and making the rooms a little bit smaller and more cohesive, I guess. So I mean, like I say, in this little bit of space that I did, here I am mapping out the rest of it so I could get the size of the house before I put the roof on, because what's the point of putting the roof on if you don't even know what size the house is going to be? But yeah, that whole back part right there disappears. And it's crazy how I managed to fit the same amount of rooms in this house that was in the original house into the new house, and have so much house that I had to delete. So definitely bigger houses is not always the best. Bigger houses do not always equal more. And so you live and you learn, and you learn as you go. And also it's going to be shortened up more on the side again too, which I will have to go back and fix the roof in the next part after I shorten it up. But I did a very simple roof. That idea, I don't even know what that idea was, but that idea got scrapped. And I went with just a normal gabled roof with, I think no, I kept 3 dormers the whole time. I just spaced them out differently when I shortened the house up some more. So yeah, look at all this room I have on this lot now. And I did keep the pool, I just made it smaller. And I even managed to build an exterior structure for whatever sim lives here to do certain skills in, which I can't really tell you because then it would ruin the whole next part. But there is going to be an exterior structure. That's how much more space I had than I had in the original, and it's crazy. It's crazy how far I've come in just a year, because I think I built my first house in July. Like I said, prior to that, I downloaded from the gallery or used an already placed in the world house that came with the game. That was my first attempt at a house, and this is the redo part of it. That's where I was putting the white that came on it, but I chose to put it tan just because, I mean, white made it look too plain. Got the dormers, I still have the back porch, I still have the decent sized front porch. It's not quite as long where it would take my sim a year to walk through it. So in part 1 of this remodel, we got a kitchen, living room, laundry room, mapped out the rest of the house, did the exterior of the house, and like I said, I did the entire exterior, got all of the foundations and got the roofs right, and I even changed out the columns to these just plain ones that had matched them up with the top of the foundation. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and like my content, please hit the subscribe button. Leave me some comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!